It's been estimated that of the 7,000 languages in the world, half of them are endangered and may disappear in this century. And this is happening for a variety of reasons, mostly because of social pressure and attitudes that devalue those small languages and tell people that they're not worthwhile or they're not modern enough to continue using. Some people see technology as a threat to the existence of small languages, but the really savvy small language communities are using technology to sustain themselves, to expand their reach, to broadcast themselves out through many different channels, whether it be social media, text messaging, to use technology as a way to survive.
En el bosque suenan quila, dos guerreros se aproximan, sus lanzas afilan, son punzantes rimas, quiñe e puquila, ven peña y vigila, luchar por nuestra historia, con gritos de euforia, revolución victoria, contra el empresario, contra la policía, que atropella a diario, espíritu.
Under their Enduring Voices program, which I co-direct, we've been building talking dictionaries. And the goal of the talking dictionaries is to give some very small languages a first ever presence on the internet. We've been working with a variety of communities around the world. One of them is the Siletz Dini language, which is spoken in the state of Oregon. Siletz Dini has probably one fluent speaker and a small handful of people who have some knowledge of the language. And we've been working with Bud Lane, who is acknowledged as the fluent speaker. He has sat down and patiently recorded thousands and thousands of words in the language, and we bring these recordings back to my lab at Swarthmore College, and my students work on them and create a talking dictionary. So you can go to the Siletz Dini Talking Dictionary, type in the word salmon or the word basket, and you begin to see the very rich lexicon of terms that they have. You start to appreciate some of the cultural knowledge.
Basket bottom.
Sele.
Basket design.
Honta Hutsnik.
The Siletz Nation is using this talking dictionary as a tool to revitalize the languages. They are conducting language classes and helping the younger generation acquire some of the language through the talking dictionary. We've also built a talking dictionary for a language called Matukar Panau. This is a very small language spoken in Papua New Guinea by 600 people. They all live in one village. They knew about the internet before they had ever actually seen the internet, and when our National Geographic team visited the village a couple of years ago, they said, we would like our language to be on the internet. And this was really interesting because they hadn't seen the internet yet. They had heard about the internet. And so with collaboration from the community, we built a talking dictionary for the language.
How about a white pig? Bor kabakab man. And how about a black pig? Bor gurgur. And how about my pig? How bor.
The following year, they got electricity in the village, and then eventually they got an internet connection. And the very first time they went on the internet, they were able to see and hear their own language spoken. And this sends a very powerful message that their language is just as good as any other. Even though it may be very small and no one has ever heard of it, it's just as good as any other. It can exist in a high-tech medium. The very first talking dictionary I built was for the Tuvan language. Tuvan is spoken by nomadic people in Siberia. They're migratory. They raise animals, goats and sheep and camels. They have a very rich lexicon pertaining to the natural world and the environment that they live in. I built the Tuvan Talking Dictionary, and I also launched it as an iPhone application. So you can actually hear the Tuvan language and many other languages in the future, I hope, on a smartphone platform. The PWLS is a great venue to talk about language diversity. It's not a topic that you might typically think of in connection with a gathering of scientists, but linguistic diversity is one of the most important parts of our human heritage. It gives us insight into history, into culture, into how the brain functions, without linguistic diversity, we really wouldn't be human. And so scientists, as well as indigenous communities, are responding to a crisis of language extinction. And that's what this panel is about, and that's why we've chosen the PWLS. We want to get the word out to not only to scientists, but to journalists and to indigenous communities whose languages are struggling to survive, that there's a common goal that we can work together.